1, audio 1.
Audio 10.
2, audio 13. Audio 16. Audio 22. 31. Audio 51.
59. 72.
80.
95. 97. 98. 99. Speed 100.
Hello, welcome YouTube viewers. We are the good, the bad, and the fugly production team that joined the 48-hour film project for the city of New Haven. If you don't know anything about the 48-hour film project, you're going to learn a lot in the next hour. But first, I'd like to introduce some of the people here on our panel, our esteemed guests, the people that helped make this film come to life. And well, without them, we couldn't do it. So first, over here, we have Mike Zarenthi. Did I say it right?
Zarathini.
Zarathini. He's one of our cameramen extraordinaire. Without Mike, we wouldn't have had that amazing drone shot, if I'm not mistaken, right? You were the drone operator out there?
Yep.
I was watching through the window from my air-conditioned viewpoint. The day we shot the movie, it was, 100 degrees? And unfortunately, I didn't have any outdoor shots, so I just had to suffer. At one point, I did open the window, felt the heat, and closed it. Next to him, we have Kaylee Lamarca. Did I pronounce that one right? All right. Well, I have known you for months now, about 300 of them. Pretty much. She helped out in all kinds of ways for the film, but mostly it was the audio. She was up there wrenching that boom mic for hours on end. I did not envy you. Every chance you got a chance to put it down, I'm glad you did, because that thing looks heavy. And to my immediate right, we have Kelly Colgan. She was one of my co-stars, if I shall be so bold as to call myself a D movie star. There's the A movies, the B movies, public access, and then the 48. So we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Still a passing grade,
yeah,
okay?
It's a pass-fail course, though. So we have that. And we had a ball doing it. I'm your host for the next hour, or shorter, because I'm sure you'll turn me off eventually. Andrew Lyman. I've been in a few of these 48-hour films throughout the years. I think this is my third one. And if I'm not mistaken, I learned that it's New Haven's 7th time doing it overall. So we've been in almost half the ones that they've done, which is that's pretty good. We also had a lot of other people that helped with the project this year, and we have some pictures of them that we're going to put up shortly. But first, taking all chats from the YouTube chat room is our executive producer, Angela Metzger. So say hi, everybody, to Angela.
Hey, everyone!
She's up there. Oh, I can see you in the preview monitor. There you are. All right, so if you have anything to ask via chat, that archaic typing method, please send it in and we'll try to answer any questions. We also have our director, our head honcho, Brian Metzger. Everybody, round of applause for Brian. Without him, none of this happens. He gets it done every year. He coordinates stuff year-round for all the projects that the good, the bad, and the fugly work on. What do you have to say, Brian? Nothing. He's gone. All right. Now we'll move on to, we have some pictures of some people that helped us throughout the process. It takes a lot of people to put together any sort of movie. This past season, I believe they said there were 33 submissions, Brian? 34. 7 teams came in late. 3 teams didn't come in at all. So it's really tough. People don't realize how quick 48 hours goes. But, so, to the photos. One of our other co-stars, Adriana, she was in there. She played our, shall we say, soon-to-be relative. We'll put it that way. And that's her and her husband there. That's Sam Medina. He helped out in all kinds of ways. He was, production assistant. He helped work the boom mic sometimes. He was moving cameras, moving lights. Like, he was probably the hardest working man there next to Mike. Who else do we have? Sean Ford. Sean was instrumental in helping us write the script from the get-go. He also composed all of the music throughout the film. I believe he wrote 3 original Christmas songs. And we ended up using I don't know how much of his music, but we used a lot of his music in the movie, and Sean does a tremendous job. If he wasn't a friend, we couldn't afford him. Alexis, this was our makeup artist / production assistant. Alexis volunteered to come up and do this project with us from upstate New York, if I'm not mistaken, right? So she's still a high school student, and she helped out a lot, put in a lot of long hours, and she really knows how to make somebody look dead. Oh, I might have said too much. Let me back up. Who do we have next? Oh yeah, that's just Jimmy. The next person we have is Mary Lee Marshall. Let's go back to Jimmy. I can't just blow off Jimmy like that. Because Jimmy might be watching. Yeah, he's going to be chatting in. Cool, Angela's YouTube's going to be blowing up. No, Jimmy was great. We hung out with this guy for 3 days, and he immediately just fit in and had fun. And he's a heck of an artist, too, as we found out throughout the weekend. Has some natural acting ability, shall we say. All right, now we'll move on to Mary. Mary was great. Mary was a volunteer that you picked. Where'd you pick her up, Brian? From a blog, a chat room, truck stop? Where'd you get her?
Backstage. Found her online and reached out, and she was all about it. She was wonderful. Happy to have her on the team.
Yeah, she was great. She was like an actual actress. No offense, Kelly.
Hey now.
So she came in and rode the wave. She didn't have a lot of speaking lines, but she definitely was a leading character in this movie, and you knew she was there. In addition, we had Taylor Majori. She was our what did Taylor do?
She was our script coordinator.
Script. She was our script coordinator, not our stripping coordinator. She does not do that whatsoever. Just want that out there. How many are we down to? One person left? Oh, my bad.
Technically 2.
And last but not least, Ryan Colgan and Shelby, who definitely put up with us for a very long period of time. We were there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning, it seemed, and they just let us into their house, and we turned it into a holiday. and Shelby was great. I think she'll remember this for the rest of her life.
Yep.
We might have created an actress. So let's see what the script says here. All right, now let's talk about the 48-hour film festival. Sorry, I keep calling it a festival. It's a film project. Something that I started with early on.
I still consider it a festival. It's like a festival.
It is. It is a festival. Maybe the final viewing when we go to competition, because we're going to competition. I could feel it. We have a good film this year. We're going to go to competition. The film project pretty much is a 48-hour competition for filmmakers to see what they can do writing, shooting, editing, and doing all your post and delivering a short film between 4 and 7 minutes, right?
Yep.
That sounds good. I got the thumbs up. 4 and 7 minutes, and some films, like I said before, didn't make it this year. I know one filmmaker that was delivering as they were doing the 10, 9, 8, and he comes running in the building. So, that film got in. It's a lot of work, and it needs a lot of people. So if you're ever thinking about getting into it, make sure that you're fully committed.
It's a very intense weekend.
Yeah, it is. The thing that makes the 48-hour film festival kind of interesting is they give you hidden elements that you have to work into your movie. You got to kind of weave it in. I don't know if we're ready to talk about this year's elements. No, we're not going to talk about the elements yet. All right. We are going to talk about the elements yet. I believe I can see way in the back. They're up on your screen now. So this year we had to work in a paintbrush. That was our prop. We had to work in a character who was a musician, and the name was Deanna or David Limerock. So you didn't have to use the name, but the character needed to be there, whether represented by just being a musician or being, David or Deanna, or in certain case, your boy Limerock. That was one. They said one of the movies. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
I always find it interesting because each film, like you think, oh, there's only a couple different maybe ways you can write something that element into there,
Yeah.
and after you see just a few of the films, and you see how creative some of them get, and how they make maybe it's a musician that's the main character, or someone in the background, or something,
Yeah.
and they just do something like that, or make it the main plot point, and so it gets interesting with all the different things they write and everything.
Yeah,
It's fun.
and people handle it totally different. Sometimes the prop is just in the background. Sometimes the prop is a main character.
Yeah.
And then we had to use the line of dialogue. And this year I think it was kind of a layup. I don't think the line of dialogue was that hard. But thanks for sharing. It was, I was like, so it worked in very easily into any conversation, into any, written dialogue going back and forth. Some people, like there was one group who, and the last thing is you have to draw your genre out of a lottery system. This year it was 48 Plinko. They actually had a Plinko board built, and we dropped a ball and it bing, 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 and then whatever card it landed on, you pulled. Our team happened to pull a holiday/vacation as our A choice, and our B choice was Femme de Force.
Film de femme.
Film de Femme de Force. The FF, the triple, it's not,
No, it's just
not
film
force,
de
it's
femme.
just a-
I
No.
thought
Yeah.
the genre.
Femme Force 5. I believe that was in a Quentin
that was
Tarantino
definitely it,
movie.
yep.
That's what,
That was.
Film de Femme.
Yes.
So it was Film de Femme, which meant it had to have a strong leading female character. We ended up going with holiday film. We did Arbor Day. It's a passion for all of us. We went out, planted trees. You'll see the acorn turn into a... No, we went with holiday and Christmas. So the cat's out of the bag. We did a Christmas movie. So, tell us a little about decorating your house for a Christmas
All right.
movie in the middle of July.
Listen up now. We filmed at my house, and basically it became Christmas in July. It was very warm. My daughter was super psyched. You saw the picture of Shelby. She didn't want to take them down, but most of the decorations were not ours, so they had to come down. But it was a thing, seeing my house turn into the holidays.
When I walked in with the presents, she asked me, "Are there really presents in there, or are those fake?" And I was quick to tell her, these are fake.
Yeah.
These are
Should've
empty
been opening
boxes. Unless you, we're going through some of the behind-the-scenes stills. Everybody on the crew, was taking pictures throughout the day. Some people on their cell phones. Some people with, high-end cameras. And
That's my dining room.
They were sending stuff in all day long. So you're just seeing some of the shots of like the amounts of equipment.
That's like my favorite picture.
Hanging out the window, get the boom mic. So you can see how, from this angle, you don't see any equipment. Everywhere else that you don't see is equipment. Some of the outdoor shots that we did at night. That was Mom resting in peace. Our genre that we ended up with, the Christmas movie, as you can see, we decked the halls with the bells of glory, and we had original Christmas music made for the movie. So when you watch the movie later and you hear the music in the background, remember some of this is Christmas music that'll be available on iTunes on Saturday for 99 cents. At least if Sean has anything to do with it, and I think he should put them out there. I'd give him $1 for the song, and then play it every Christmas from now on, and just laugh, going, "That's from the movie." What do we have next?
Lyman, let's talk about Angela in the chat and what she can answer any questions we might have.
Yes, the chat room is open.
Yeah.
Any questions come in so far?
No questions
No?
yet. We have a couple people that said hi and that they're watching, but
Who do we have?
nobody really
watching
has
out
any
there? Anybody we can
questions.
give a shout out to?
well, so far we have Brian's mom, Trish. Everyone say hi, Trish.
Hi, Trish.
We have Gail, Trish's friend from back home,
Hi,
and
Gail.
Joey and Millie. Hi, Millie.
Hello.
My niece Millie. She just said hi too.
Aw.
But yeah, a lot of highs, no questions yet though.
Where's Alexis?
I know
Where's
Alexis
the people
Varga.
from the crew that should be watching at home? What are you doing stuff? It's Sunday. America's Got Talent's not even on. Oh, he's watching from the living room.
Hi, Ryan. Steve from the living room.
Let's see, what else we have here? So, the new movie we're going to be premiering at 7:45. So, get your DVRs ready. Did the DVR work on YouTube? I don't know.
Sure.
I just got YouTube on Xfinity, and I can stream from my phone to my television, and it's awesome. But you don't need to know that. So at 7:45, we're going to be putting on the new movie, which is Mama, It's Cold Inside. It's a play on a very popular Christmas song, Baby, It's Cold Outside, a song that had a lot of controversy this past year, which was all over the news, and apparently they decided to pull this song from heavy rotation, much like Michael Jackson's songs, because he's not good. So we went with the Mama, It's Cold Inside for a Christmas twist on the name of the movie.
And that was Alexis who came up with that title.
Oh,
Bravo.
awesome. Yeah, that's a good
Bravo.
one.
Andrew, why don't we show them last year's film just to give them an idea of where we were and kind of what this year was like?
We did just get a question if you want to answer that real quick.
Okay, so what is our first question for the evening?
They're asking the time limit for the film length.
The film had to be no shorter than 4 minutes and no longer than 7 minutes. So it's a very short film as far as short films go. Some of the competitions that you go out there want, up to a 15-minute film. Then you get into the long format short films where they're looking for 20 to 30. Ours is a short film. But to get it done in 48 hours, you wouldn't want to take on a 15 to 20-minute film.
No way.
So, and then, we got all of our information Friday night by 7 p.m., and we had to have the film dropped off Sunday night by 7 p.m. So it is a strict 48 hours. In fact, I was at the drawing when they were giving us the secret information and when we were picking our genre, and I just text it right into the group so they can start working on things, and then I drive up here to join them. So you every second counts, and depending on what genre you could get, it's tough. One of the teams got silent film. It was like how you draw silent film. You have all these actors lined up, and you have a line of dialogue you have to use. And I thought they did a great job kind of handling it. They did their movie at a school for the deaf, so everybody learned a little sign language. I don't know if they already knew sign language, but they kind of put a cool twist on silent film. We've done this before. We have a couple other films that we've done specifically for the 48-hour film festival. Last year's film was what the heck was it? Wicked Children, right? Mm-hmm. That was a film that we did. Our genre for that one was suspense thriller.
Yep.
Suspense thriller. So we're getting that loaded up for you. We'll have it ready in a moment. We're going to show the not-so world premiere of The Good, the Bad, and the Fuglies, Wicked Children.
Alright, I'm gonna buy a house for St. James Place.
St. James Place?
Yep.
You cannot win Monopoly with St. James Place.
I have the whole strip though.
It's all about the boardwalk, baby.
I have the whole strip though.
I once saw a dead body on the boardwalk. Once. Yeah, okay.
Bullshit.
It's true.
Why can't you just be a nicer person?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Where have I heard that before?
That was from last.
Right. It was probably the cat.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Probably the cat.
Okay.
It's not creepy at all.
Well, I do have some news. I just put a down payment on a mansion. It's kind of a big deal for me, so.
You are such a liar. You can't even keep a job.
Yes, I can, and I'll have you know that I was just offered a full-time CEO position at a huge company. I bet you feel pretty stupid right now.
Here we go.
Oh, I feel stupid?
Yeah.
No, you're stupid. This game is stupid. You guys aren't even playing
every
right.
game that you talk
finish
about
that.
Alright.
treats me like this every.
Oh,
Awesome.
great.
Just what we need.
Okay.
Alright,
You know what?
I found some candles.
I'm heading to the bathroom.
I'm gonna get some more candles. I'll be right back.
Oh, it's the wife. I gotta take this. I'm going outside.
You know, I
Totally did see a dead body at that boardwalk. Call me a liar. Okay.
Tales of the Four Wicked Children.
I don't know why we gotta go through this. I go out on Friday nights. It's game night. No, I did tell you. I did tell you. No, you don't listen. That's the problem. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
When living with anger, you're not playing nice. Once darkness comes, you'll pay the big price.
Better be on your way home soon. Got it? Andrew? Andrew, where are you?
No one likes a thief, as stealing is all they do. Be careful what you take, as your soul can be taken too. If you play with fire, you'll eventually get burned. When the flames hurt, the tables have turned. The hard way is how the lessons are learned.
Gotta be here. Gotta be here. On. Gosh.
Guys, that's not funny. Adriana? Adriana? You okay? I'm coming in. Guys? This isn't funny. Really pissing me off. Joke. Guys? Guys? Being truthful is always swell, but being a liar never ends so well.
Well, there you go. That was last year's film.
Awesome.
That was Wicked Children. I love the way that one came out. I think it really showed how this team could come together and produce something that's watchable, because everybody that watches it has told me they watched it a few times and they get a kick out of it. And my son's in high school and some of his friends watch it, and then they take lines out of it and shoot him clips and stuff, and I've become quite the joke around the high school community. They love my acting. That film, it was the same thing. We had to have 3 hidden elements and a genre. The genre was suspense thriller. The line of dialogue in that one was, "Let me tell you something." And the prop, what was the prop in that one?
Children's book, right?
Oh, a children's
Or a
book.
book.
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, that one we actually took the prop and turned it into a main character point. And the actor was a liar. So you can't just buy a costume and be a liar. You know?
Liar.
Like the year before, the character was a cheerleader, and everybody showed up in the same Rydell High cheerleading costume from Party City. Do we have anybody in the chat room? Any new questions come in or anything at this point?
We do.
Awesome.
Well, I don't know if I said Lexi's now watching, or want to give a shout out.
Oh, hey, Lexi! Good for you.
I know. Her mom Amanda's watching. She said hello. Juan is watching. Everyone say hi to Juan.
Is he driving and on his cell phone?
No.
Safety first.
Come on, Juan.
And Nina's watching too.
Oh, hi, Nina. How you doing?
Nina did have a question, actually. She said, "Hey guys, I miss you all so much, and I'm sad I couldn't be in this current one. How was this year different from last year? Anything better? Anything worse?" Kelly.
This is my first year, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty awesome.
It was different that we replaced you with Kelly. No, we couldn't replace you.
Well, no, what I would have to say is watching that film, The Wicked Children, and that's what made me want to be involved. And talking to my husband, who was also involved in like the back production and all of that, like that's what got me interested in like maybe I can somehow be a part of this. So
Yeah.
for her, thank you.
And if you ever want to come back in the future, we can make more roles. Like, what do you think, Mike? You think we have room for Nina in the next cast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna open up a casting call and everything. Everyone, Brian's gonna get on it. We're gonna have lots of people.
Maybe for the Halloween flick. Oh, don't make plans for Halloween. Have I said too much? I don't know. I think that's on page 2. So in that film, we really made the liar a center character and made the prop a center character. And some people barely had the liar in there at all. Some people just, somebody said something, said, "You're a liar," and then they moved on. So I think using those elements, we were very successful in last year's film. So if you have any questions about that one, feel free to bring them into the chat room. But we're going to move back on to this year's 48-Hour Festival project, 2019.
Can we just get a couple more shout-outs to some more people
Sure, absolutely.
watching?
We got shout-outs.
So we have Sean watching. He just joined.
Sean, nice. How you doing, Sean?
We have Chris, and I'm assuming Shannon, Brian's sister and brother-in-law from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
They're
wow. Hey, how you doing? We've gone international.
We have. But yeah, so I think as of right now, I've got everybody who has given a shout-out, so we're good.
Awesome. I didn't even know you could chat in YouTube. That's how old I am. That's why I play the old man in the movie, obviously. The day that we did, shoot the movie, the night before, like we said before, it was very long. We all sat at that kitchen table. I was there till midnight. You guys there were longer, Mike. When did you finish, wrapping up the general outline for the script and pack it in?
For last year's film or
No,
something?
this year's film.
I would say it's probably like maybe around 3 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Like it was. This year was different from last year.
Yeah, they were up real late, and then they were at Kelly's house by, what time did you guys show? You were there when I got there.
There were
and I
people
was-
at my house at 7 a.m., yeah.
So, people just pretty much went and took a nap, got re-energized, started drinking coffee.
There was so much coffee.
Yeah.
Oh my
Coffee was
gosh.
going every day. She has 3 different coffee grinders. She was giving us gourmet coffees.
But yeah, we had to do some rewrites, restructuring a little bit, coming at it from a different angle this year to make the film work, because the original idea, it didn't come off as well. It's really tough because the time limit and everything, and we weren't able to convey that exactly how we wanted to. And so to make the film more impactful, we felt we had to change it and make it a little bit different somehow to come at it from that different angle. And I think it worked out better than if we just went with the original plan.
Yeah.
And I think it was more impactful that
Well,
way.
one of the cool things about a genre like holiday is there's, slasher holiday films. There's buddy comedy holiday films. There's action holiday films. There's actual holiday films. Then holiday doesn't always have to be Christmas. We just went with Christmas because it's easy to convey that point, by everybody digging through the closets and getting Christmas decorations out and going to town on your house, as you will see. It really screamed Christmas in July. The one thing we really couldn't do was fake snow. So remember, this whole movie takes place in the South.
It's in
Although we
Florida.
don't-
I've never,
Yeah,
I grew up in Florida. There's no snow there.
In the South, but people with Northeastern accents.
Well, it's because everybody
I mean,
from
we just
Florida
moved there. I don't
is
know.
from the Northeast, pretty
Yeah.
much. There's it's just the way it is. The day of the shoots, we were shooting inside, we were shooting outside, we were shooting upstairs, we were shooting downstairs.
All the places.
It was just kind of crazy, and some of the scenes you're not in, you're just watching from behind the scenes at the magic happening, and just seeing everybody move as a unit between the boom mic operators, the people moving the lights, the camera operators. It's a very professional crew. It was great working with you guys.
No, it really is something like to work behind the scenes, because then, or just witnessing it, because you see the orchestra of everything coming together. Like, okay, move camera like this, pull focus like this movement to make everything happen. Have the placement with the actors, have them hit their marks, and so to make the scene play out how we want, and the motion, the feel that we want. And so that's always the dynamics you're working with whenever creating something.
But I like how you guys, you don't rush it. You're looking for a specific shot, you know the shot you want, and if you have to start moving the people or moving the camera or changing lenses,
We have a
you
couple
take
more
the time to
questions
do
when you
that.
guys
Yeah.
have a second.
Oh,
Not to interrupt your
we're going
conversation.
back to the chat room.
Back to the chat.
What is this, 1996? We're in a chat room?
AOL IM.
So we actually have a couple. So
Hold
Millie,
on, my beeper's going off.
my niece Millie, I had a question. This would be more for Andrew and Kelly. She said, "How many times did you mess up?"
Every time.
I mean,
I think
there were-
I pretty much
Every
I
time?
messed up every time, and he just cut around it. So it's a good editor.
There were some mess ups.
Yeah.
Always mess ups, I think.
But I mean, it's a very short film. There wasn't that much dialogue we had to remember, and everybody was so patient that if you had to, say it 1, 2, 17 times, they
Hey,
was
Lyman,
fine
why'd
with
you
it.
sing Silent Night for
It
her?
turns
Oh my gosh.
out I don't know the words to Silent Night, by the way. Well, but you'll.
He does not. No.
And I was trying to take lead. That was the problem. If you don't know the words, don't take lead. Be a follower. It helps. It really does.
And then just.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was
wanna
saying just
continue.
one last question. Do they give you specific locations, like a pig pen or something? Is that a requirement? A
So
certain
far,
location?
the locations have not been a requirement. The one thing that they do suggest, and they have an award for it, is an iconic piece of New Haven. So some of the movies, because it is the New Haven 48-hour film project, they showcase either a monument or a park or a building to try to really let you know that this is representative of New Haven. Our movie, we didn't have any New Haven type shots. but they're not mandatory. It's your choice, and it's just one of many awards that they give out at the end for best use of New Haven as a theme, character, or prop. You know?
I think it would have really given it away that we weren't in Florida.
Yeah, like we would have really not great.
So, as far as locations go, it's up to you, and you are allowed to pre-scout locations. That is one of the concessions that the project makes. It's hard to do everything else you're doing to shoot a film and not have locations predetermined. We actually had a whole secondary location ready that we were going to go to, and it just turned out that the primary location functioned for everything, and it's hard to break down all the equipment and move somewhere else. So, to have your locations set is a good thing to have.
And it makes it easier too when you're filming on one location, especially in just a short time period and everything, because when you have to keep moving to different locations, it makes it just the time you eat up by driving, and then now let's get settled and everything. That chews up a lot of time.
And it is an international project. It goes to a big film festival at the end, and some of the people that do it own complete production companies and will have an A team and a B team shooting in different locations and just shuttling footage back to be edited day of. We literally had to shoot everything, then upload it, and then start editing. There's no time, that we just don't have enough resources. So everything was done for us. Like we didn't write a page or a word of script until after we got our information. All we did was make sure we had the gear, the actors, and the location. And sometimes, you have an outdoor location, and then it turns out to be a real rainy day, and you need a plan B. So if anybody's out there thinking about doing this, make sure you have a plan B. That's why it's good to have a Marine running things. He has plans A's, B's, and C's.
Quick question from Lexi for Kelly and Andrew. She said, "How's your glitter situation going?"
Oh, okay. So my cat's faces have the glitter has subsided at this point, so we don't really see the glitter as much. Shelby did ask me, my daughter, today, "Mom, do you have glitter on you?" I'm like, "I probably do." Probably.
And this is referring to a really neat shot that Brian showed me.
Yes,
that's part of the movie.
When you ask about messing up, I messed that shot up until we were out of glitter. So it was, we're taking this one and doing what we can with it. But the finer the glitter, the more places it can get, I found. Like I was tying my shoes and there was glitter in the shoelaces.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those makeup kind of glitters, not the kind that you would Elmer glue on a first grade project on an
nice
acorn to give your mom for Christmas.
I think it was a really clever part of the movie and how it's set up for the kind of the holiday theme and everything, and trying to do that. And it's nice. I like it.
And we have one last question here from Jessica. She said, "For actors and crew who were new to the project, what was your favorite part of the experience?"
Is that just me?
Yeah,
I think that's just you, Kelly.
My favorite part, I think, was hanging out with everybody in between everything. So when everything was going on and you weren't in the scene, getting to chat with everybody and getting to know everybody that I literally didn't really know before the day of. So I think that was probably my favorite part.
I agree.
It wasn't my acting.
Oh yeah, no.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I have a question for you, America. You know why Santa's so jolly?
Oh, here we go.
He knows where all the naughty girls live. I got it out, Brian. I got that out. That was for you.
We heard that like 10 times.
Moving on to another question.
I kept trying to get that in the movie. It didn't happen. So we'll call that a edit room floor. All right.
He tried. We have Selena here, and she said, "Excited to see your film. Question is, who contributed to the script development? Was it a cumulative effort or just a specific person? Also, how much time was devoted to that effort?"
Mike, you want to take this one?
What was the question again?
The script. How much time?
Who contributed to the script, and how much time did it take?
I'm not totally sure. Like from the beginning, because I wasn't.
Well,
Brian, you want to answer this question? You were probably more involved here.
Yeah. So we probably dedicated, because Andrew called us right around 7:00. And we just got going because we had no idea what we were going to do. We did no preparation. We wanted this to be as organic as possible. And I think we probably went close to about 2 to 3 a.m. It was a collaborative effort between myself, Jimmy, Andrew, Angela,
Sean.
Alexis.
and
Mike.
Alexis. Yeah, it was a team effort. Not one person just took over the whole thing. So without a doubt, full team effort. By the way, Ira, it's great to see you. Thanks for contributing to this. I wish we. It's been years since I last saw you. So
Next time we'll have to have him join.
definitely. Thanks for jumping in, Ira.
And if you have any more questions, the chat room will be open until we have the premiere of the movie. We're, let's see, about 5 minutes away. So we can talk some more about how the day went. One of the things that I noticed throughout the day was just the amount of equipment you guys brought. Like, there was multiple cameras, there were multiple lenses, multiple lights as usual, but you had that new piece of equipment, that track camera slide thing, that really put out some interesting shots in the movie.
No, it was really neat to have it on the rig and set up and everything. We use it for a number of shots, and it's automated, so all you do is you set the points where you want, and it just slides along, so you can get some neat dynamic moving shots with it. So yeah, we tend to get probably a little gear heavy on set, but we take some of these little tools and everything, and they basically allow us to get these little shots that we want and the movement that we're looking for. So it's it's really fun to use them.
And when you were using it, I noticed you had a hand control a lot. What was that hand control?
The hand control was a wireless focus puller. So if you see, like, usually on some movie sets, they'll have a guy that's close to the camera operator, and he's using a little wheel almost like that too, and it's basically pulling focus because there's actually a gear motor attached to the lens on the front of the camera.
So you were like rack focusing as the robotic part was doing its thing. You were manually adjusting the shot.
So I was able to pull focus and keep my subjects in focus. You were the most difficult person on set to keep them focused.
There's so much of me.
No, you're a rocker.
Tips for any actors out there: don't do too much of this.
No rocking.
It's really tough.
I learned my acting from Rain Man. And Kaylee, one of the things that you were doing the whole day, you not only were you holding the boom mic, but on every take you were recording onto a digital device of some sort, kind of looked like a Star Trek walkie-talkie thing.
Pretty cool.
But by the end of the movie, every time that you were numbering all the audio takes, how many audio takes was it all said and done? Did we hit 100?
We went over 100. I remember us hitting 100 some point, like 12 at night. It was over 100. I couldn't tell you it was. Yeah,
because when you start shooting at the beginning of the day, and Alexis would come out with the clapboard, she'd go, "Scene 1, take 1," and there's all smiles, everybody's happy, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's scene 15, take 100.
Audio track 500.
It gets very hard as the day gets longer and keeps going.
But it's essential to keep track of all that stuff.
And
as I was joking with Taylor earlier, if you're watching, Taylor, we understand it was not easy. Every shot we took, she was logging what it is, what the dialogue was, what part of the movie it was supposed to be inserted into. So there was a lot of takes that I believe Brian has put some sort of blooper reel together for after the premiere. I can only imagine how buffoonish I will end up looking.
No, actually, it's just one shot. You were not that buffoonish. Jimmy, though, made us all die. I can't wait to show after. We're about 2 minutes away to showing the film. Angela, do you have any more chats that you want to bring in before we get going?
I do. I just have a couple, a shout out here and a question. Kelly Bryan says, shout out to my super hot wife. She's watching.
Hi.
And Andrew, Katie is also watching, and she says, what did each of you think of the parts you got to play, and how many times did you have to do certain scenes?
Water break. I liked my part. So when I got the call initially, the night of, when they were writing the script, it was a little bit different. So I was kind of framed up to be the sister, your sibling, and Jimmy was going to be dating another person. But then the morning of, it changed, so I was like, oh, wait. Okay, now. But I actually really enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of creative freedom, actually, to do stuff, and I enjoyed it. And there were some scenes that were 7, 8 takes, maybe more.
What about your wine scenes, too?
Listen, I ran out of wine real fast. I was like, oh, no.
Messing up the lines on purpose. Continuity, Phil.
There's a mosquito. Gotta go. Gotta drink.
my role, as always, Brian wrote me in as some sort of weirdo, so I'm getting typecast. I'm never the leading man, so I almost did that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie. I was supposed to play the Brad Pitt role.
Oh, yeah.
Turned out he was available, so I did this movie instead, and I like my role. One of these times, I knew I was going to get to stay alive. I've been killed on film numerous times, or killed. Sometimes I'm a killer, but this one I got to stay alive the entire time. It was awesome.
Like amazing.
Yeah,
it's so nice to stay alive.
It's going to pay off dividends.
Andrew, it is time.
Oh, here, do we have a drum roll?
If you want to count it down.
All right, everybody out there in YouTube land, the world premiere of Mama, It's Cold Inside.
You really wanted to do that.
Nothing's gonna bring me down this Christmas. Nothing's gonna bring me down this Christmas.
So, I've been dating Kelly a while, and I really liked her. I knew things were going well when she asked me to meet her family. I was hoping for something a bit more low-key, but she said the whole family would be at her mom's house for Christmas. Kelly warned me her brothers were weird, but she was really eager for me to meet her mom. Well, this was one Christmas I know I'll never forget.
Are you sure? I'm sure. Trust me.
Her brother Andrew was quite old. At first, he just seemed a bit odd, but it turns out he's just a creep. Then there's her brother Jimmy. Let's just say he's something else.
This is my girlfriend Deanna.
Hi.
Did you know that for hundreds of years it was tradition to tell ghost stories on Christmas Eve?
Okay. Thanks for sharing. I had to wait all night to see Mom because she was resting or whatever. Everyone was fixated on her for some reason. It was all, Mom likes this and Mom wouldn't want that. It was annoying, honestly. I know everyone loves their mother, but come on. I thought this would be a nice moment for me and Kelly. But we all know what she wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a big deal that I was going to play a song for her mom.
I really like you.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Hey, you know what might help lighten the mood a little bit?
What?
Why don't you grab your guitar from the car?
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right.
No pressure, right? Yeah, right. That might be how a normal family gathers. Not here in Delusion Land. This family thinks she's alive.
We made your favorite, Mom. Pumpkin chiffon pie.
And of course, nobody told me.
There you go. Alright.
So there I was, about to play a song for a dead woman.
Deanna, we'd like you to meet Mom.
Welcome to the family.
Silent night.
Holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child.
Finally, I met Mom, and I was terrified. Now, I know what you're thinking. This family is completely whacked. But I think I made a pretty good impression. And hey, what family's perfect anyway?
Nothing's gonna bring me down this Christmas. Nothing's gonna bring me down this Christmas.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. There we go. The 2019 48-hour film project. The Good, the Bad, and the Fugly. Mama, It's Cold Inside. Available for download on Amazon. $4.99. Actually, it'll be free on YouTube channel. This channel, which I believe is GI Bro. That's GIBRO. Lots of interesting stuff on that channel. And then our past movies. So chat in. Let us know what you think. We're actually normal people. Don't let the characters we play in that movie scare you. We're much scarier behind the camera. So if you were watching, you saw how we integrated the elements of the movie. The paintbrush, we decided to make a bigger part of the movie, especially once we found out that Jimmy could actually paint.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Jimmy is quite the artist, and he did that in watercolor layers where he had to do certain colors first and let it dry, then come back and do overlaying colors and all the black detail at the end. It was really interesting watching him work throughout the weekend. The other character, the musician Deanna, turned her into a main character, my younger sister's love interest. And the line of dialogue, thanks for sharing. So when it comes to the line of dialogue, you can integrate it anywhere in, but you try to make it a point that stands out so people remember that not only was it in there, but that you turned it into something within the writing of the film. Do we have anybody in the chat room? Now that the film is premiered, I'm sure there's got to be tens of questions.
Chat room. Not a whole lot of questions, but everybody loved it. Brian, your mom said, "OMG, only you, Bri."
Always.
Everybody loved it. Brady Stevens said, "I want some dinner music."
Oh, Brady, big
shout
fan
out to
of,
Bottleneck.
The Bottleneck. What's up, Brady Stevens?
But yeah, everyone seems to love it. Brady Stevens also said, "Was Nate Lyman the dead mom?"
No, he was not. That was our wonderful actress, Mary Lee Marshall.
Yeah, she was awesome.
We have multiple comments for dinner music. Everybody wants dinner music.
Like I said, I'm a pseudo D-rated local celebrity. It's not like my public access days, but I once got mugged, and the guy was like, "Haven't I seen you on television?" I'm like, "Here's my wallet." He's like, "Yeah, that's you. Thanks for the money." And, it's Waterbury. What do you want? So now I'm straight out of Bristol. Recognize. What's up, Lime Rock? One of the things we talked about earlier was the glitter.
Yep.
So when you saw the movie, it was a really cool effect that wasn't done with any computers, any graphics. That was literally a handful of glitter sprinkled through the lights down over the lens of the camera, which we had protected underneath a sheet of plexiglass because that glitter was so fine. Did any of it get on the camera? Did you guys look afterward?
We were very fortunate. We had plastic wrap on the floor too, so we pulled it away and tried to make sure nothing.
But even with all our precautions, that glitter got everywhere. The next morning, I had glitter on my face, I had glitter on my hands, glitter on my she has glitter on her cats.
Yep, their faces.
Her child had glitter on her. But that was before we even showed up. So, she was dressed as a princess. Other things that you saw in the movie, you saw that.
Sorry to cut you off.
Nope.
The other key to the shot with the glitter was we shot in high frame rate, 120 frames per second, I'm pretty sure, and then played back in like a normal 24 frames per second.
Okay.
Allows it to play back slowly like that.
That's
Because
how you
really, you
capture
drop it,
all
it just
the-
drops
So
it and it's
awesome.
done. And so that's one of the key things right there. That and the light pointing right underneath it, and so the reflective properties of the glitter and how the light hits it and everything shimmers like
it was
that.
so fine. The glitter was literally like dust.
Oh, yeah.
It was smaller than grains of sand. So trying to hold on to it, you just move your hand and it would start pouring through the cracks of my meat hooks. Oh, you're going to say something?
I was just gonna ask Kaylee, how much do you like Silent Night though?
Oh god!
Like, is that your favorite song?
So
Because we sang it like how many times?
Seriously, so like Silent, towards the end shot pretty much, Silent Night, we talk about takes, like we did so many takes of Silent Night, like Lyman does not know like any of the words to it, so like
I was like, bro, how do you not know Silent Night?
Listen,
Like,
yeah, I'm gonna have nightmares of Silent Night.
I'm more
That's
of a
all-
Rudolph fan. You know? I know all the words to the Batman Smell song.
and like we had a shot for each person singing into the camera, and you lost it on the first time. You got like one verse in, and we were like all hysterical.
We had to come back.
Yeah, like, we're like, we'll go back at the end. We'll go back at the end.
Yes, I
Who
definitely.
Who said that we thought we were saying Holy Night?
The funny part was, no, I actually looked up and found out that Silent Night is public domain, so you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to get permission to use Silent Night. You can't use someone else's recording of it, obviously.
Oh, no, that was all.
But that was all.
us.
There was none of that
Beautiful singing.
Milli Vanilli overdub stuff. That was our voices.
Straight out of Bristol.
Straight out of Bristol. Anybody in the chat room that we need to respond to at this point?
Still just getting a lot of thumbs up, and everybody likes it. No real questions at this time.
All right.
Like, Kelly, why are you so awesome? I'm a little disappointed, but that's cool.
I mean,
maybe if we had dinner music, they would.
Yeah, maybe that would have been.
Is that what we need? Dinner music. So if you're not careful, we will go out with my rendition of Silent Night. And
you don't want that, I promise.
So silent. One of the big things in the movie was the painting, and at the end of the movie, when we did that final shot, we pan over and we show the painting. Well, at that point in time, the painting was 99% done. But brother Jimmy was making it as a Christmas present for mom, and he wanted to have it finished by the morning. And as you saw with the magic glitter dust, she was supposed to come to life, but didn't happen. A little more magic dust for Santa. Film, and I think it's awesome. Nobody's ever painted me before. I
feel like your French girls.
I've been given the bird several times, but nobody's ever painted
Andrew,
me.
I accidentally had your mic down because I fat fingered it. So just tell everybody about the painting one more time. Just how that came together.
The painting was a big part of the film. Brother Jimmy, who was doing this painting as a present for his mom for Christmas, because he's a jobless bum and a little on the slow side, but hell of a painter. And by the end of the movie, he hadn't completely finished it, so he finished it for the next day, and when it was all said and done, I think it came out great. Like, that really looks like everybody in the film, including Mary Lee, who, if you see to the left in the foreground, is mom, and we are just giving her our loving gazes, except for Deanna Limerock, who's a little disturbed by the whole thing. But she should be, because it's not a lot of people that keep mom around after her expiration date. So, at least I hope not. Get rid of mom. Not you, Mom. I love you. If you're watching, you're the best. You're the best. Like she could use YouTube. What else we have? What?
Tell them a little bit about the Jimmy feeding scene and how we kind of lost it during that point.
So one of the scenes we had to shoot was Jimmy feeding Mom her favorite pumpkin chiffon pie. So that was just a little movie twist that was brought to us from our actress Mary Lee. She just thought it would be kind of cool, and we have a behind-the-scenes video of some of the pumpkin chiffon pie. Let's go to that video.
Oh, coming in again.
And we're back. So that was just a little behind the scenes footage, and we were laughing like that all day. Like it was just so crazy playing these characters and trying to keep straight faces. So it was, and sometimes it was just you had to look away. Jimmy was doing such a great job. If I watch him playing crazy, I'm gonna start laughing.
Yeah. Brian started laughing and shaking the camera.
Yeah,
I was trying to stay professional, but all of a sudden I couldn't.
And there were times where we'd be like, and cut, and the whole room would just start cracking up because it's just kind of crazy. So one of the people we really want to give a big shout out to is Trish. Trish is instrumental in the 48-hour film project, and she, every year she helps organize, helps run it, helps with the drawing, with the actual premieres at the movie theaters and everything. And she is we couldn't do this without Trish Clark. Everybody, let's give Trish Clark a round of applause. I hope you're out there watching. If not, we love having you as part of the team every year, and she has embraced us as on our third go around a 48-hour regular. So Trish, keep doing what you do, and we'll keep coming back. She is instrumental in the Nutmeg Institute, who does a lot of the funding for the 48. Even though there's an entrance fee, there's no way that the entrance fees can cover everything that goes on with doing this, very, it's almost a year-long thing, because as soon as this one's done, she starts planning on the next one, and, the earlier you sign up, the less it costs. So, Trish,
early bird special.
Thank you very much. We also, we might have one or two more things over in the chat room. This is going to be probably our last throw to the chat room. Anything over there to add?
We have one question that actually kind of ties into our wrap-up here. Alexis is asking, what genre are we hoping for next year?
Well, next year's a long way away, but between now and then, there's a little thing called the Two Roads Brewery Rosemary's Baby horror film competition. Last year, the Good and the Bad and the Fugly. Was it a Good and the Bad and the Fugly production? Right? Was it all? They all are.
I don't know if we got in as that
we'll
team
claim
name.
it was. We not only shot a movie and entered, but we won. So that yay! But that's down the road.
That was all due to you and your great acting.
No,
the dinner music.
I think it was Juan. Juan was the best part of that movie. When he banged on the door. Juan, you still watching?
He is watching. He actually said, "Why is Kaylee the greatest to ever do audio for films?" And is Nate taking notes?
Wow, that's so
good one, Juan.
Nate, you're great. Don't let Juan rain on your parade.
Well, I'd like to personally thank everybody that helped out on the film. From the people here in the studio to everybody who couldn't make it tonight, to people who helped out remotely. I'd like to give us all a big round of applause. I think it was a good movie. Everybody enjoyed it. So I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. Again, it'll be on GI Bro. You can log on anytime, watch it, share the link on social media. The more people we can get to watch it, the better. We Brian, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I just want to say the same thing. Thanks, guys. I ask a lot of everybody. We try to do the best we possibly can. I know it's exhausting, but just seeing the look on everybody's face, even on this premiere, it's so much fun. The screening night, I mean, I don't know, we didn't even mention all that stuff, how we're sitting in the theater and we get to see it for the first time. But every year it's always awesome. It gets a little better each year. The Two Roads Brewing, I want to go for win number 2. So we have a lot more prep time this year, so hopefully we can come up with something even more gruesome. Adriana's leg is healed up, ready to go, so we'll chomp back into that. And maybe this year Lyman can be the lead. We'll see, but he's still probably going to die, so we'll go with that.
Well, thanks for that. But if I have to die in a movie, kill me first so I get the hell out of here. All right, thanks, appreciate it. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. So for Mike, Kaylee, Kelly, Angela, and Brian, and myself, thanks for tuning in. See you next year.
Bye, guys.
Bye.